like that, we're back with more from the AWS Developer Innovation Day. I'm A.M. Grabelny, your host and a developer advocate here for Game Day. We've been talking all things dev today. We've been doing CodeCatalyst, Amplify. We just did some CDK work with CodeCatalyst. I got two wonderful guests. Leo, you've been on the show a bunch.
Yeah.
But please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Leo Jadnovsky. I'm the Chief Technologist for Education here at AWS, and I work with a lot of our public sector customers, but I also talk to a lot of our customers about tools like and services like CodeCatalyst.
All right.
Cool. Hey, my name is Adnan Dilwani. I'm a Senior Dev Tool Specialist with the Builders Experience team at AWS, so resident geek, I guess. So.
Nice. So we've been talking a lot about the features, functionality of CodeCatalyst. We saw some, deep use cases with building constructs for the CDK using CodeCatalyst and then taking those constructs and using them in a CodeCatalyst project that were built with CodeCatalyst. We're going to really, I think, on this session, hone in on the collaboration side, right? And we're getting a little blast from my past, which, stay tuned. Kind of interesting. It was a little kismet, a little fate, I think, that brought us together. During the demo, I'll bring it up. I'll talk about it.
Well,
Let's kick it off.
I mean, have you ever had to join a new team as a developer, and then you got to set up your laptop, you got to set up all your tools on it, you have to figure out what permissions do I need, where do I need accounts? It's not fun, right?
Yeah, I've spent an entire afternoon, as I said earlier a little bit ago, setting the Java environment variables, because I'm not a Java, I'm a C# guy.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like a whole afternoon just figuring out, why is Java not, I installed it, it's there. Why can't it find, you got to set all these environment variables,
I've spent many hours messing with my bash RC file to get the right profile and everything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, so we're going to talk to you today about how you can quickly enable your team to collaborate on their software projects really efficiently with CodeCatalyst. So we'll show you how you can onboard a new team member, quickly get a new environment up and running, and get your team members to start pushing code.
Instead of 3 weeks, you could push code in what? What are we saying? What do you think?
Minutes.
Minutes? Oh, yeah, because we only have...
It'll be during our actual session here, yeah.
We got about 20 minutes,
yeah.
so...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you just learned earlier today how CodeCatalyst helps you accelerate your dev cycle with blueprints and workflows. So you can go in and click on a blueprint for, say, a 3-tier web architecture, and it spins up all the resources you need for that, and then you get your CI/CD workflow so you can push code out, right? And then you've also got to know today about managed development environments, so you can quickly create an environment for each individual developer so they have their own personal space to quickly start coding without having to spend any time messing with their laptop, right?
Nice.
So today we're going to also show you how to collaborate. So we're going to show you how easy it is to onboard new developers into your organization with CodeCatalyst.
Yeah, which is both a technology problem and a people problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, a lot of companies have solved this by having wikis or having guides, and it's human nature, isn't it, to not update things?
No.
And just let them kind of sit there and rot.
Yeah, I've had it where I've had to onboard, in a new project, and I follow the wiki, and I find a bunch of problems, and I fix it as I go, and then it sits there until the next person, onboards and does the same thing, and the cycle just repeats itself.
You're a very beneficent person. You're in there fixing the wiki. That's
trying to.
Not everybody
hopefully.
would.
Yeah, trying to. All right, so let's talk about the process of onboarding developers and all the steps that you need, right? So first, you've got your local machine, and like I mentioned earlier, you've got to figure out the right access and permissions for your local machine. Then you have to, once that's set up, you have to get trained on how to use your tool chain, how to run your tests locally, how to merge results, how to then run through the pipeline, your CI/CD pipeline.
What tests, Leo?
Yeah, I mean, I've been, I have a demo where the test is echo. Test succeeded.
Definitely never done that.
No, who does that? Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully, ultimately, your code is going to get pushed to production after it goes through a bunch of actual tests and in various environments, right? And so that process, it's kind of painful if you're doing it on your local machine, right? And typically in places I've worked before. So the nice thing is, CodeCatalyst can help here. So with CodeCatalyst and managed dev environments, you can quickly invite a user to onboard just through their email address, right? So I can send them an email, they can click, they can sign up, and they can log in. As soon as they accept the invite, they become part of the workspace in CodeCatalyst, and they get the appropriate permissions that I've set up for them, I've provisioned for them, and then they can create their managed dev environment and start contributing right away. And this takes minutes, and we'll show you. So it also has like built-in issue tracking, pre-configured workflows, so that can run your code through the deployment process. And you can start pushing features with the only thing that you need on your local machine being an actual functioning web browser. So I don't have to, set up anything else on my laptop, which is really nice. So should we take a look and see how we did this live?
Yeah, the permissions too that's really interesting to me. That's one problem I faced in the past. I get like a notification from a manager or a coworker, like, go check this repo out. This is where all the important code is. And I go and I'm locked out. Like I can't access that repo. So I can't even do anything. Not even like getting my environment set up. I literally can't even read the code. So having that just baked in as oh yeah, these are the repos, these are the projects, these are the things. That's really cool.
Yeah, and also, if you have credentials on your laptop, that's, there's some security risk with that, obviously, right? Having IAM creds, so this eliminates the need for that as well. So you just log in through your web browser, and that's it.
Yeah. All right, let's see it. Let's get into it.
All right, so in this demo, I'm going to be the lead developer. And I'm onboarding Adnan to join my workspace.
How was this decided, by the way? How did you pick the lead developer?
He's got the suit.
Exactly.
Oh, he's got the
dress code.
Dress code. What does the jean jacket put me at?
CTO.
CTO. My dreams have come true.
All right, so I'm in CodeCatalyst now, and I'm adding Adnan in. Now, I've already added him to a previous project, so he's already in there, so I can just click on that. But otherwise, it would just send him an email. And then I'm picking what permissions he should have, so he's a contributor here. If I give him administrator, he would have extra permissions, like to add more users and things like that.
Nice.
And so it sent him the invite. So now he's going to be getting an email in a few seconds, and he can get onboarded here. So this is what it looks like.
Yep. So, Leo, my manager, sent me an email. If I'm part of the CodeCatalyst platform to begin with, I just basically accept the invitation. I'm automatically made part of the project in Workspace, and I can start continuing it, in this case, which I am. If I'm not part of CodeCatalyst, the walkthrough would just be to sign me up and, get me going, and then I'd be in and start coding pretty much at that point in time. So, from there on, once I have accepted it, before we kind of start coding, here comes Mythical Misfits. And we'll talk about this in a second. But the idea is basically, this is a site that Leo's working on, right? And I'm helping out with. We've got the good or evil creatures in here as well. And the idea is everybody deserves a second chance, and we're trying to make sure that these creatures get adopted. We've got the good evil filters, and initially when we started out, it was all about lawful and chaotic. But the site's been sort of getting a lot of other creatures coming in, and so now we're getting all these creatures that are neutral in nature as well. So we've got these on-the-fence creatures that would love to find a new home as well. And in order to sort of get that done, the first task here is Leo is asking me to sort of add that neutral filter up, so folks who are coming in to adopt creatures, we can kind of make that happen for them as well. So that's kind of where it is. But I mean,
a nice first issue for the onboarding dev, for sure. But this is a little self-indulgent moment here. The very first Twitch show I ever did back in 2018 was with one of my favorite people on this planet. Her name is Nikki Stone. She used to work at AWS, works at Meta now. She and I had a show called Build with AM and Nikki. The first season we did was build this Mythical Misfits application in C#. So you have us to blame for the C# version and the Angular front-end version of this. None of the other versions, which ours is impeccable, spotless. I'm sure. As
You
found.
started the trend, right? That's the.
No, we didn't launch Mythical Misfits. I don't want to take credit for that. But we did the rewrite in C#.
But if you pick the same blueprint that we did in CodeCatalyst, you too can have your own version of Mythical Misfits.
Oh yeah, blueprints that didn't exist. That wasn't around back then. So you devs now have it easy. You can just spin up. No, I'm just kidding. Oh wow, cats would go in evil by default. Hey,
I have
Wrong.
2 cats, so I disagree. But
Yeah.
I disagree too. I
got
also
you too. So
chaotic.
definitely
Chaotic.
chaotic. Definitely chaotic.
yeah, definitely go there. Cool. So yeah. So Leo's kind of showed me the website. We gotta go ahead and add our neutral filters in here and make this website and update it as well. So I'm gonna go ahead towards CodeCatalyst now. Just move over to the new tab. I'm already part of now Mythical Misfits app, so I'm just gonna go into it, click it. See my overview page, the readmes right there. I'm going to browse around, take a look around quickly, right? So I'm going to go to the code section within CodeCatalyst on that side, go to source repos. Okay, got my source repo, everything's sort of set up. Don't have to worry about that. Going to go through the CI/CD and look at workflows as well. And I know those have been shown a little bit in the past as well. As a contributor, I can kind of come in, see what's going on. So I can click on this application deployment pipeline. Take a look at what it's kind of doing, right? So when we go to definition, it looks like, hey, I'm going to get basically, this will push out the code once I push code to main, right? So looks like things are already kind of set up. I'm in this point where I'm sort of ready to code, and comes the option, right? One, I can download everything locally, git clone it, set everything up that I need to, get everything going and create my new branch and work through the features. Or I can use the amazing managed dev environments and kind of click right in there, where everything will be set up automatically for me, and I can go ahead and just concentrate on getting done what Leo wants me to do. So going to quickly go over to code, go to my dev environment section there. I can quickly create a dev environment here. Cloud9's an option, Visual Studio's there, IntelliJ. I'm just gonna choose Cloud9. Set something up. I'm new, but hey, I know I need to create a new branch and give it the right name. Like, let's see, AWS or add neutral filters, I guess. Can go with that. And then let me just pull this up, and then we'll go ahead and create a new dev environment real quick. Takes a minute. Cloud9 will come up, and there we go. So I've got my environment all set up and ready to go. Leo already told me this was a Vue.js framework-based app, so I'm going to kind of look around a little bit, see what's going on, acclimate towards the code, and see what's up. So, find my app.vue. Let's see if I can quickly find that guy. See.
Vue.js, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Not
So
our version.
Not .NET.
sorry.
We're going with this. So
I forgive you.
found the router view. Looks like that it is. I'm going to go into that TS. It looks like I'm using a home view. So let me go look at the views, see what I've got there real quick. And I've got home view, there we go. And then it looks like it's using the grid component. So let me find the components folder, go to the grid, and let me open it up. And oh, there we go. So I see my filters up top there. Got the good and evil, lawful, chaotic. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and add the neutral filter as requested. I'm going to do what we all do really well, which is copy and paste that from one filter to the other. Got both of them in, so I'm going to go ahead and save that now off. And Leo did tell me that there were some tests, so I'm going to go to that test file as well. Make sure we can sort of add the neutral test in here as well. Looks like it's checking for the name of the div, so I'm going to go ahead and just do a copy paste, change this to neutral. Real quick.
Writing features and tests on your first day.
I know, right? We got to do something, right?
You're really
Update
out
the
there doing
index.
press, huh?
On probation, so we got to work this out, right? So, all right, so yep, I'm gonna change this up real quick, and let's go to indexes, update them. Great. So I'm gonna save this off. Looks like I'm ready to sort of do a push, right? So first, let me just kind of get into the project real quick. Go ahead and let me check my branch, make sure I actually did this right, and I'm not really pushing directly on main. So I've got my own new feature branch, great. I'm gonna go ahead and check the status. Yep, got my files all done, ready to go. Quickly do a git add. Let's do a commit we'll do a quick comment there as well. So add neutral filters. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and submit that. And last thing to do is git push this. And 3, 2, 1, maybe. Yep, there we go. Cool. All right, so there's up. So the only thing kind of left for me to do at this point in time, right, is to create a pull request. Right?
Yeah.
Have Leo review the stuff and, bless it, and we're on our way, hopefully.
Cry a little.
Yeah, let's see.
Be a little anxiety-ridden. Like, did I do it right?
Yep.
Is it going to pass the automated steps?
Yep. So gonna quickly create that pull request, push the domain. I'm gonna actually set up my required reviewer to Leo, and let's put in a pull request title. I don't know, something or the other.
You getting called out for deploying to prod on the day of joining.
Yeah.
So that's impressive, really. I think that's just speaking to your
Trial by
abilities.
fire.
There you go. Right. We'll live dangerously. So cool.
So, just to go through all the steps here we did, you addressed a feature request,
Yep.
you wrote a test, and you're doing a code review too
On the
Yep.
first day.
on your
All
first day. Cool. All right.
And using dev environments, so I don't have to set up anything on my local machine, and we can be on our way.
Yeah.
Definitely not feeling inadequate over on this side of the table at all, because my first day was absolutely exactly the same productivity.
And you didn't push straight to you didn't do a forced push to main. So
None
that's
of
good.
those. Yeah, we're okay there.
So we're calling people out now. Okay. All right. This is fun for me. Okay, so Leo, you've been tagged.
Yeah.
Are we going to see your?
Yeah, so now I'm going to go, let's switch to my view, and I'm going to go and, so I can see the pull request when I go here.
Is this code review happening 6 weeks later because you were just slammed and you couldn't get any?
Exactly, yeah. Just ignore the 13 minutes ago thing on there. Okay, so I can see here, I can see the pull request. I can see that I've been assigned as the reviewer and that Adnan is the requester. So I'm going to go into the pull request. And again, I can, if this was linked to like a bug that you had an issue for, you could tie it there as well, which is really cool. So let's go into the actual code. And so there's a split view and a unified view. So I can see that Adnan's added neutral. And if I go to the unified view, I can see it there as well. Now, let's check about those tests that I asked for. Oh, they're there. Awesome.
Asked for, aka demanded?
Asked very nicely.
Nicely, okay. Good.
And I can add comments on each of these as well. If you saw, there's a little comment box in each line of code. Or I can add a comment on the whole pull request. We haven't configured reports, but that is an option on there that you could do. And then you can also, let's say, I could edit or close the pull request if there's a reason to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and hit approve. And so it's good. I'm not a stickler for descriptive pull request descriptions, so it's good. All right, so I'm approving the pull request. And now the next step, what I have to do, I have to merge it. So I can see that it's mergeable, and I'm going to go ahead and merge it. And now I'm picking my strategy to merge, so I'm going to do the fast forward strategy. And I could delete the source branch after I accept the pull request if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that here. And so now I've approved the pull request. And now we're going to go into CI/CD workflows. So we're going to see, did this trigger a workflow? So I can see that the workflow is running. And I can see on the top in the little text there, it says green. So that means it's successfully pulled the code and merged it. And now it's going to go through a build phase where it's going to build any artifacts that we need. There's going to be a front end deploy. There's going to be some tests that are run, like the tests that you added. And then if that all goes well, it's going to deploy the front end after the back end. And then we'll have a successful deploy if all goes well.
It's a big if.
Yeah, well, let's see what
It's a big
happens.
if.
Should we see what happens?
How confident do you feel
We'll see.
as the onboarding dev?
There's a what do you call first error?
No pressure.
Kinda, yeah, we'll see. So
Is there forgiveness?
forgiveness, first error. Come on,
first
something
error.
like that.
Yeah.
Second error, though, no
Nah.
forgiveness.
So here we go. We can see it worked. It's green at the bottom. So we've got a successful deploy. Let's see let's see what it looks like on the actual website now, though. Does it look right? So I'm going to go back to Mythical Misfits.
Okay.
And I'm going to go, and yeah, it's there, and it's there. So we are good to go. Adnan has successfully pushed to prod, and everything looks great in here.
It does. It does look great.
Yeah.
Huh. How do you feel? Anand?
I feel like I can go on to my next project. We're good.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Now, both of you obviously have worked different companies, different onboarding processes. How does this compare to? We've heard a little bit from you, Leo, some other environments. Anand, maybe you've got some anecdotes to share with us. And how would CodeCatalyst have made your life better?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I really appreciated is the dev environment. I know folks have been talking about it, but I really love the fact that I don't have to do a lot of local setup, right? And it just kind of gets things set up for me. I can kind of move on, and context switching really, within that, it really helps sort of moving from one feature to the other, or even one project to the other, and even languages, right, in this sort of a conversation. So it just helps me sort of move along real fast and real quick, and that would have been really helpful earlier as well. So.
Yeah. Leo, what about you?
Well, I think places I worked at before where you could deploy on day one, typically there was no governance around it, right? So that means yeah, I could do that, but I was SSHing into like a production server, right? So the fact that CodeCatalyst enables you to do this, but there's control involved in governance, so you can do it safely. I think that's really powerful, and I work with a lot of public sector customers, and I think they're super, super focused on compliance and security. And I think anything where you can enable developers, but enable them in a safe manner,
Right.
give them basically a paved road to follow, I think that's really powerful.
People like to have the receipts sometimes of what
exactly.
has changed instead of, oh, hey, just SSH'd in. We were just talking about the immersion days with our previous segment. Do you want to talk more about what can people expect at an immersion day?
Hands-on, right? We want to come on in. We're gonna, let's do some hands-on, gain some great experience on how you can potentially utilize this for within what your environment is, or what your company or what your development is as well. And so they get that, and then just let's have fun. To be very honest, that's what we'd love to do on that.
Yeah, and I think like the way that I learn the best is I just need to get my hands on a keyboard and start using. That's how I've been using CodeCatalyst so far. So I think this is a great opportunity to do that.
For sure. I too wanted to highlight the easy productivity between the two of you, right? The collaboration that we saw, because we'd seen bits and pieces of that throughout our other sessions with CodeCatalyst, but we really saw it like from, you got the issue, you went and implemented it, even with the tests that were requested, aka demanded. We'll talk about that later. And then you were able to do a code review around that. We had questions from chat around GitHub that have been answered. So can you do this with a GitHub repo, et cetera? Yes, the answer, short answer. And some of our friends in chat have helped us with some links in there pointing people to getting started with GitHub. Now, what else? What would you like to leave the audience with? What should they do if they're interested in collaborating with their team in CodeCatalyst?
I think pick a project to do a POC on. So pick like a low-hanging fruit where you can just start working on it right away. Like I said, for me, the best way to learn is just start using the service. And so that's what I would recommend doing.
We got a question about the immersion day. About how long is the immersion day? And we had chat say immersion hour, which is it's longer than an hour typically.
We're hoping to keep it to about 90 minutes, give or take. So immersion hour actually is close.
Yeah, not too far off.
Yep.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. Look, we're all busy. We all got stuff to do.
We want you to come in, experience it, and then but do it in a time that's.
I definitely want people to think I'm busy, but I am for sure. This is evidence of that because it's on camera right now. I'm extremely busy. Don't slack me. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, go check out the immersion day. Go get started. I love the suggestion of just run a POC through it. Right. Like try something greenfield, maybe something
exactly.
net new.
Yeah, and the blueprints in there, they're a really good place to get started.
Yeah, we've seen that across the board for all of our sessions. Okay, Leo and Anand, you both wonderful people. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
here.
us.
Thank you.
Leo, always great to see your face.
I'm sure I'll see you again soon.
Yeah. I know you'll be on another session. I hope to see you again too in the future.